Mr. Merck, after the revelation that you were under investigation, there's talk that a warrant has been issued for your arrest. Any comment?
It's a question you'll have to ask the assistant district attorney, not me.
Is yours a case of simple bankruptcy, or is there fraud involved?
Neither one nor the other.
Yet there are reports of embezzlement in your company's accounts.
Please, you are making dangerous insinuations. My client has had no official charges brought against him.
And you feel certain there won't be an indictment? Good morning, sir.
Hello, Victor.
I'm looking for Brandoff. Where is he?
He's over there.
Tell him I need him. I'll be in the office.
Are we shutting down?
That's exactly what we're trying to avoid.
I'll get him.
He's loyal. You know how long I've known Victor? 25 years. He's not just an employee.
Well, right now, what we need is a little sympathy from the banks, not from your employees.
Well, my problem is I've never had this great love of money. I've always preferred steel and concrete.
Alfred! Alfred! Are you all right?
See what happened? Hey, what happened?
I think so.
All right, out of the way. Out of the way. What happened?
Come and go, you little wild. Come and see what I can do. Knock the door, moving you, taking love in finesse. Hey, everybody fantasy dreaming.
Hello, this is Hotel de Fonbleur. Professor Jack Clementi. Just a moment. Madame Fernand, it's from London. They want to speak to the professor.
Why are you shouting like that? The professor isn't in his room. He didn't come back last night.
Should I tell them to call back?
Is it a man or a woman?
A woman. What'll I do?
A woman? Ask her what she wants. Is she young or old?
Madame Fernand, you worry me sometimes. You're getting a little jealous.
Me? Me jealous? Jealous of a man who spends his night out, I don't know where, with whom? Oh.
He went fishing with Simon last night. Ah, there they are now.
Just tell that broad on the phone she can wait. Good morning, Professor. It's a pity you weren't here last night. You know, I prepared a wonderful dinner. I had to eat it all by myself. It was delicious. Sometimes it's nice to dine alone. I had couscous and mousse and... Oh, isn't it a beautiful day?
Yes, Madame Fernand, it's a really beautiful day.
Oh, I forgot. There's a call for you from London.
From London?
Yes, a woman.
When they call from London, it's never a beautiful day.
Professor. Simon. Simon. Is the professor angry?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Sometimes I have the feeling he feels uneasy when he talks to me, or when I talk to him. Don't you think it's strange? He's got everything he wants here at my hotel.
Maybe it's a matter of dieting.
Of dieting? Do you think that I have to lose a bit of weight?
Not you, Fernand. Him.
Professor, it's for you.
Thank you. Jack Clementi.
Ah, Clementi. Winterbottom speaking. Trying to get hold of you is worse than trying to get hold of me. The difference being that I happen to be your boss. I need you right away, Jack. It's a very serious and complicated case. I've already sent a plane to pick you up.
Must cost a lot of money, Henry.
It's nothing compared to what it'll cost if we don't solve this case. I'm looking forward to seeing you, Jacko.
Okay.
Not bad hunting. We hit the jackpot.
Good. I'm running out of things to cook. The professor is a hard man to please, you know. But he certainly can't stick his nose up at rabbits he caught himself.
What are you talking about? We don't hunt rabbits like this. We do it like this. The professor hates violence.
I needed to see you urgently, Jack, because for the past 2 years in Germany, we've been paying claims on special life insurance policies that have some weird clauses tacked onto them, all involving enormous amounts. These are the files covering the last 3 mysterious cases. The first concerns an attorney named Meyer, who was killed in a car accident only 2 months after stipulating the policy.
Well, automobile accidents happen.
Meyer had cancer. We found that out only a few days ago. The next case is that of Prince von Kaltenberg, who took out a policy and was killed by unknown robbers who broke into his palace only a month after he had signed the contract. And the last involves a building contractor named Merck, who's in a very bad financial bind. Only yesterday, on one of his job sites, he barely escaped an accident that could have been fatal. What do you think, Jack?
The first, a coincidence. The second, a probability. But the third is a certainty.
That's what I thought. What can you do about it, Jack?
Well, I'll have to cancel my fishing holiday, won't I?
Good. Anyway, fishing for us is much more profitable. You know, Jack, I have a feeling that within a year you're going to move to Honolulu. The Mediterranean's getting too small.
Especially after working with you. Do you have a job for me in Hawaii?
We can invent one.
It's a '74 Cadillac.
Yeah. It's the car that Meyer died in.
To get through that hunk of steel, you'd need a locomotive or a Mack truck.
Exactly. And that's what I want you to find out.
Are you giving me an assignment? A real one?
That's right, but a freebie. Consider it like an entrance exam to detective school.
Sounds great to me. I don't mind practicing. It's fun. By the way, why did you want me to bring all this French wine?
Well, this is the beer capital of the world. This wine is very hard to find. I have a friend in the police department, and he takes all his vacations either in the Rhine Valley or the Chianti Hills near Florence.
Oh, I got it. You want to soften him up a little.
That's right, kid. In vino veritas.
Excellent. French wine is in a whole different league.
Spaghetti with tomato sauce. I followed the recipe in the book you gave me, Jack, right down to the last letter. Really, Jack, you're crazy. A whole case of Burgundy.
A whole case?
Yeah. Jack is much too generous.
Jack is much too clever. Well, you've hit me in my weak spot. I give in already. Go ahead, spit it out. What do you want?
Oh, information on 3 apparent homicides. 2 have already taken place, and the third is going to happen.
There were only 2 homicides, Jack. The third one doesn't count, does it?
Oh, yes, it does. I wouldn't bring you a whole case of Burgundy if I wasn't absolutely sure.
Thank you.
We'll talk later. Now, on a more interesting subject, the pasta. And that means all of us just eating because it's so good.
Sure. Who are you trying to flatter?
I want to have a little talk with the highway police, who made out the report on the accident in which Meyer was killed. And then I want to read the report on the robbery at the von Kaltenberg Castle, which resulted in the murder of the prince. And finally, I'd like some information about the legal situation of a certain Merck, a contractor.
You can find out everything you want to know about our friend Merck right here on the front page. The revenue boy showed up at his house a few hours too late. He may have left the country.
My husband did not run away. He has only temporarily left Munich for personal reasons.
Well, to be perfectly sincere, I expected a better answer than you've given me.
I don't believe that I have to give an explanation to anyone.
You're wrong about that, Mrs. Merck.
Listen, Mr. Clementi, I agreed to speak to you only because you're not from the press. That policy is completely in order.
Yeah, but my bosses at the front office have some serious doubts about this policy.
I don't understand. I believe that all the payments have been made in a timely fashion. What else could possibly be wrong with it?
That's what I'm wondering. Aren't you aware that your husband escaped a big accident on his construction site 2 days after this policy went into effect?
I honestly don't know what you're getting at.
I don't know either. In any case, I'm not a cop. You can confide in me.
You must have read it in the papers. My husband has had very bad luck lately. The banks no longer extend him credit. Construction has been all but shut down. But he's honest. I swear it. How could I have lived for 10 years, married to the man described by the press?
What did you know about this policy?
That our children are the beneficiaries. And in order to pay for it, my husband sold an object that, for sentimental reasons, he would never have dreamt of selling. My engagement ring.
Never say never.
Oh, please. I beg you. If you know where my husband is, please tell me.
Amazing. I was hoping you might be able to tell me that.
Oh, Mr. Clementi, I'm so afraid for him.
What do you mean?
For over a year now, he's been suffering severe depression. He's in analysis with a Dr. Roth, a specialist who's been trying to deal with his mental problems. He's already tried 2 times to commit suicide. This time, he might just succeed.
No, Mrs. Merck. I don't think so. Your husband knows perfectly well that his policy will not be honored in the event of suicide. Well, in any case, if you have any news, you've got my number here in Munich.
Will you help me?
If you help me.
Certainly.
The load was hanging directly above where we're standing now when it fell.
About 40 meters up, huh?
Oh, 45 more like it. When it hit the ground, the whole concrete block broke clean in half. When we examined the cable, it wasn't hard to see it had been cut by a file. Sabotage, no damn doubt.
Then from this point it skidded, and after momentarily accelerating, it came to a halt against the tree.
Well, I was over there and I heard a long, muffled, kind of noisy screech. Then, my God, there was a loud bang and crunch of metal. I put down my tools, I rushed outside, and I saw this car down a hole. I tried to break the door open, but it was damn near impossible for me. Yeah, you saw me hammering away, pow, pow, bang, bang, but there was nothing I could do. The driver was already dead.
Tell me about the truck.
Truck? Eh? What truck?
The truck that hit the car, then drove off.
I don't know, mister.
But you told us you saw a truck run into the car and then back up and drive away.
What? Something I said? Oh, no. You're wrong, Sonny. That ain't true. It's impossible.
But you signed a sworn statement.
Oh, Grandfather, he's a little senile. He lives in his own dream world. He's more than 85 years old.
Yeah, and fit as a fiddle. Move mountains I can, and still drive a tractor. Damned if I can't.
It stood there for 3 years. It hasn't even got a motor in it.
I didn't want to disturb the bunnies.
Evidently, someone tried to frighten the old man after he spoke to the police.
Yeah, we should have a little talk with his grandson.
That shouldn't be too hard. He followed me here. Mm-hmm. There he is.
Excuse me. Among your guests here, is there a young guy wearing jeans and a leather jacket?
Well, to tell the truth.
I believe he's French.
Ah, French. Mr. Simon Carvel. Yes. Ah, there he goes.
What's he doing here? Some business?
I really couldn't say. He seems like an ordinary tourist.
Thanks.
Put it on room 212.
Now we'll go for a nice ride, okay?
Listen, friend. I've got a place just outside the city. An old farmer lives there. I've been told that you talked to him today. That's no way to treat old people. It could be a danger to your health, pal, messing around like that. What did you want from him?
Why don't you tell us what you want? Who are you?
Take it easy.
I am taking it easy. I want an answer. Huh?
Who are you, the hotel dick?
Yeah, you guessed it. Why don't you just give me some information? Now!
Yeah, okay, give me a chance.
Oh my God!
Wait. I need him. Damn it. Let's go.
Place is deserted. Cleared out.
They sure did. I'm beginning to lose my patience. There's something rotten going on. The road is straight. To go into the trees, the Cadillac had to drive into them on purpose.
Isn't it possible that the driver might have fallen asleep at the wheel?
Come on. Here's a report on the murder of Prince Kaltenberg. Kraus gave it to me.
So the French wine worked.
It damn well better at these prices. I want a complete report about how Prince Kaltenberg died. And do me a little favor, will you? Don't let yourself get followed by any two-bit lowlifer who's got some axe to grind. It could be bad for the health.
Okay. Hey, Professor?
Yeah?
Does it ever occur to you that I'm the one who's doing everything?
What's wrong with that? I think it's what's known as on-the-job training. Given his precarious judicial situation, Merck's disappearances cause great concern on the part of my employers. It happens he's taken out substantial life insurance coverage. That ties us to his fate.
I, too, am very concerned about Merck. He's a very sick man.
Yes, his wife told me you've been treating him for acute depression.
Schizophrenia.
Well, what's the difference?
It's worse. I've got computer files of all my patients' histories. Here you can find their lives, their fears, and their complexes. Material of great interest in understanding how a man works.
How does our man work?
Merck is very complex. He sought success at all costs, without ever taking into consideration the risks it might involve.
For example?
Well, the pressures of money often lead to mental instability. Once Merck told me that someone was threatening him.
Did he mention any names?
No. I'm not interested in names. What I am concerned with was if Merck was telling the truth. If you want my personal opinion, what happened on the construction site was no accident.
I agree with you.
And if you want another personal opinion, Merck was being threatened by loan sharks.
Why?
Because of his rising sense of paranoia about money. Like a drug addict who needed a fix. He'd become the pawn of his pusher.
Meaning that once you fall into their hands, they put the noose around your neck and start to tighten it.
You have a way with words, Kraus.
Thank you, Jack. But what's really amazing is that these bloodsuckers are people who on the surface appear perfectly respectable. Lawyers, accountants, businessmen, fashionable hairstylists, industrialists.
Yeah, I got you. But these executioners are no fools. They'd never tighten the noose too tight. Otherwise, goodbye investment. They wouldn't kill the goose that lays the golden egg.
It's a nice theory, but in this case, Merck was a kind of exception because he was left without anything to offer. He didn't have a dime to his name.
I see what you're saying. It would be like trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip. And by knocking him off, the loan sharks would be making an example out of him. What kind of a guy would you describe Merck as?
First class.
And a first-class guy who needs a little cash in this town. Who does he go to?
To Mr. Big.
Oh, great. That's helpful.
Hey, hold on a second. I'll tell you what you want to know. But on one condition. In your next trip, bring me a Bordeaux. Vintage 64. Mr. Big, the #1 hangman. Senora Yellow. He runs a nightlife here in Munich. I'm sorry to say he's Italian. Neapolitan, to be exact.
Well, not all Neapolitans are perfect. Thank you.
Mr. Yellow, it's for you.
Keep that away from me. Can't you see I'm eating?
I'm sorry to interrupt you. They say it's important. Something about money.
Give it here. Hello.
Mr. Aiello, listen. You don't know me. I was in on a little job at the Merck construction site. Yeah. The only thing is that I didn't get my share. And I want what's coming to me.
Pass by this evening. We'll talk.
Who was it?
Someone.
Someone who?
Someone who wants to kiss my ass.
Can I help you, sir?
Good evening. I'm looking for Mr. Aiello.
Mr. Aiello only sees people by appointment.
Yes, but I'm the one who called him at his house. He's expecting me.
Follow me.
Mr. Aiello, I'm the guy who called you earlier, remember?
Maybe. What do you want?
Oh, courtesy. You invited me here for a heart-to-heart, but a couple of your friends got in my way.
You call me on the phone and say all kinds of weird shit. You should never do that, not to someone you don't know. So the guys were just checking to make sure you're okay.
I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay. Everybody agreed? Now then, let's say Merck sent me. Is the name at all familiar?
Yeah, I heard it around.
I'll bet you did. You lent him money at street rates. And when he couldn't pay you back, you tried to knock him off, didn't you? And your thugs got sloppy and blew it.
That's not fair. Merck has always paid. He's always been punctual. You can take a look. His accounts are here. Giovanni, tell him how we never messed with Merck.
He fulfilled his part of the deal, as we did with ours.
You see what a polite, amicable chat can do? Now I am satisfied that you're completely clean.
Well, of course. I'm an honest businessman.
Listen, there's one other little matter. On my way out of here, do I have to give your goons boxing lessons again?
No, it'll be all right.
Just as well. They're slow learners.
Keep an eye on a yellow. I'd need a whole army, not just a handful of cops. Anyway, you've got to tell me just exactly what's going on, or they won't let me tap his phone. What do you mean, don't worry? This is Germany, remember? I need a court order. We're not in the third world. Anyway, where are you? Jack! Jack! If he wasn't such a nice guy, I'd really hate him.
Okay, let's get a tap on a yellow. What about a court order? Forget it.
Don't you think so, Professor?
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So?
It's the von Kaltenberg Castle, scene of the robbery that ended with von Kaltenberg's death. The prince lived in Königsplatz, but used to spend his weekends here.
Can we go inside and look around?
No, it's all locked up. The castle's up for sale.
Okay.
The prince only had one son. His name is Brando. He inherited everything.
What do we know about it?
Quite a bit. For example, he was a drug addict. Because of this, the prince threw him out of the house 2 years ago and sent him to live out here in the country in the family castle.
Has he kicked the habit?
Seems like it. People say he's changed a lot since his father died. Be nice to think so.
There's something about that doesn't quite wash. I wish it were that easy.
Well, I talk to a lot of people. All I know is what they tell me. Watch out!
Come on, they've gone.
Hey, wait a minute. Didn't the highway patrol report say something about a gray truck?
Yeah, the killer truck that ran into Meyer's car. Lie down in the road.
What?
Lie down in the road.
Like this?
Sprawled out like you're dead, idiot. Stop! Please, sister, it's an emergency. I have to get help. Thank you. Thank you.
This is like where are you going? Where are you taking us? Stop the car. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us
Hey, put a
sinners, now
cap
and at
on
the
it.
hour of our death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
son, and I've been following you for an hour. And we've been praying for an hour.
Five nuns in the hospital. The Mother Superior in a state of shock. A motorcycle destroyed.
Why don't you look on the bright side? The five nuns never had such a good time. A cop is still alive thanks to my quick reflexes. And another cop is alive because of his quick reflexes. What more do you want? A happy ending?
Are you trying to take the piss out of me? Here we are talking about offending an officer of the law. For that, you get thrown straight into the slammer.
I hope your motorcycle boys had enough wits to get the truck's license plate number.
It was registered 4 years ago.
And when was it stolen?
2 years ago from a roadside restaurant. Jack, are you sure that that truck was really after you?
Yeah, and it's the same truck that ran into our friend Meyer's Cadillac. It's clear that we're creating problems for somebody. Starting with you.
You're not creating problems. You're breaking my balls. I can't do anything to help you. I only have 2 eyes to look after 1.5 million inhabitants in this city. Every week we're saddled with an average of 20 robberies, 2 homicides, and God only knows how many misdemeanors.
I don't need your help. Don't worry about that. I only want to know what you know. What else can you tell me concerning our boy, Merck?
Not a whole lot. I do not know where Merck is. But the reports say he's probably flown the coop, gone abroad. He's no dummy.
Cheers. Cheers. Not bad. What do you think?
He's okay.
Shall I?
Go for it.
Wish me luck.
Yeah.
Hiya. Hey. I really go for the silent type. They're always the hardest.
Get out of here. I want to be alone.
Don't you think you've been alone long enough? You've been pouring your problems into that glass for 2 hours now.
You got it wrong. It's telling me its problems.
You're kidding. What problems can a glass have?
Well, it tells me how this place wouldn't be half bad if it wasn't for this boring blonde who insists on hassling people. This glass wants me all to itself.
You just scare him away.
Go stick it in your ear. He was probably a fag.
Murray.
Would you please call Munich for me? The number is 368-1125. Right. I'll wait. Hello? Yeah, it's me. No, I'm not in Rome at your mother's. It'd be too easy to find me there. I'm here in Vienna.
Ah,
How are the kids?
they're all fine.
And you?
I'm okay.
A lot of people have been looking for you.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't tell anyone anything. I have the feeling that everything around me is falling apart. I don't know how it's going to end.
Don't worry. Everything will work out fine. It just takes time. Try and get a grip on yourself. The worst has almost passed. You'll see, people will forget. We can start again.
I love you, Marie.
I love you too.
I keep getting the feeling I'm being followed, but luckily the hotel is complete with restaurants and with a health spa, massages, saunas, everything. So there's no reason for me to go out.
Just stay there then and be careful.
Right. Bye, Maria.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Vienna. The well-known Bavarian constructor Alfred Merck was found dead late yesterday afternoon in the spa pool of a large downtown hotel. He was believed to have been in hiding after having fled Germany some days ago, where a warrant for his arrest had been issued on the grounds of fraudulent bankruptcy and tax evasion. The cause of death was electrocution. Police claim it was an accident, though foul play has not yet been ruled out.
Mr. Jack Clementi works for the insurance company that issued the life insurance policy for Merck. And more than that, he's a friend of mine.
Very well, even though it is against regulations to let anyone in before the widow arrives. We'll say the police let you in. I know nothing about it.
How long had Mr. Merck been staying with you?
4 days.
Any visitors?
Now you're asking too much. We're a company of first-rate hotels. We respect our clients' privacy.
Come on, I know you guys are human just like anybody else. Sometimes hotel workers like to have fun and keep tabs on their guests. You see, I live in a hotel and I know what I'm talking about.
This is not a boarding house.
Werner, would you stake your career that this was an accident?
I've been on this job long enough to have learned not to stick out my neck for anything, much less stake my career. But there are significant aspects of the situation that point to an accident.
Too many, perhaps.
Perhaps, but they're all plausible, probable, and very simple. That's why I wrote on the report, accident. I'm not about to get hung up on the possibility that all deaths are murders. Heart attacks do happen.
So does Easter.
I'm aware that Mrs. Merck's lawyers are suing us, but they're barking up the wrong tree. Our spas guarantee complete safety. If Mr. Merck's death was indeed an accident, the chances of it are so slender that they hardly exist.
Yeah. And yet in the police report, his death is attributed to a short circuit.
Yes, but that's virtually impossible. These circuits are all triple protected.
Who was in charge of the hot tubs on the day of the accident? I want to talk to him.
Hans was on duty that day, but today's Sunday, and he's off.
Well, I can find him. Would you be so kind as to give me his address?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was on duty the day Mr. Merck died. But you see, I can't talk now. I promised my kid I'd take him to the amusement park. Sorry about that.
No problem. We can all go to the park. I like roller coasters.
Okay, let's go.
I think you know more than you've been letting on. If you tell me the truth, my insurance company will be very generous.
Well, you see,
no rush. You think it over. A little vacation for your family, and the company will pay for everything. Hey, wait a minute. Where are you going?
Hey, listen. You're shooting at the wrong target. I told you before. It was an accident.
An accident?
Honest.
A chance in a million. Hey, pal, you're gonna need a lawyer. A damn good one. But you're gonna need some help staying out of jail.
Help! Help! Police! What's going on? Arrest him!
Sorry.
He robbed me!
What's this about, mister?
Come on, you're coming with us.
mistake. A terrible mistake. And this time there's no way out.
The mistake could be that he skipped off from Munich.
You know what, Krause? You need more imagination.
And what's that supposed to mean? That I don't have any? Why, once down at the racetrack, horses were killed, pieces were missing. Everybody was sure it was a racket. But I thought of another angle, food. And 2 days later, we arrested this hungry bum. He confessed. I got imagination.
Put yourself in the shoes of a millionaire who loses everything, financially ruined, on the run. What would you do?
I guess the first thing I'd do is take care of my family.
Exactly. Just what our man did. He took out a big life insurance policy in favor of his family, knowing only too well that the company wouldn't pay in case of suicide. Unless, of course, the suicide wasn't what it seems.
What are you driving at? That there's someone who will help you kick the bucket?
Why not? There's been a lot of arranged accidents.
Listen, maybe you're using a little too much imagination. What proof do you have?
Cops. You always want proof.
Well, do you have any or not?
No, but my head itches. And when my head itches, it means that I'm very close to the truth. Did I tell you I'm becoming a psychic?
You say there's an organization that helps arrange accidental deaths. So then these surviving family members can cash in on the insurance policy.
Yeah, and in the Merck case, the policy's worth $3 million.
Son of a goddamn bitch.
That's what my boss in London said.
Hold on. You certainly don't expect the police to bust this mysterious organization with nothing to go on. What's that?
It's a Bible. I found it in Merck's hotel room in Vienna.
Lots of hotels have Bibles in their rooms.
Yeah, but this one is in Latin. Look. It belonged to Merck, given to him by the so-called Brotherhood, the Confraternitas Padris Consolatoris. The only thing I could find out about these clowns is that once upon a time they were the ones that comforted those condemned to death.
Well, was kind of them.
Are you alone?
Yes, Father.
Is it the first time you have come?
Yes, Father.
Are you seeking comfort?
Yes, Father.
Well. Put this on.
Actually,
Either you put it on or you leave.
I'm ready, Father.
Wait. have a new brother.
The rules of our brotherhood forbid us from knowing the names of those seeking comfort. Follow me. There's a plenary session in progress.
No torment, no remorse, no crime or pain that we of the Brotherhood of Comforting Fathers cannot understand and ease. Here in this house of the Lord, we must seek to understand the needs and desires of everyone. Brothers, if we are going to hope to find the meaning of life, we won't find it in life, but in death. Death is life. Death is salvation. We must wait for it with joy, not with fear, because only after death is there eternal salvation.
Brothers, let me remind you of the telephone number you may call to seek comfort.
Just dial 8000 day and night, and a friendly voice will answer.
In cases of extreme distress, we can even arrange for a private meeting. And now, we have arrived at the moment of thanks. Brothers, let's join in showing our gratitude to our brother who, through his generous donations, has contributed to the growth and the development of this mission.
Isn't this the von Kaltenberg home?
You got it.
So who was that guy who gave all the donations to the Brotherhood?
I'd say it was the son of the slain prince. The heir apparent. Are there many calories in the pasta?
300 with all that cheese, maybe even 4.
I would say about 8,000.
Really?
You better be careful. Your husband's just a little bit overweight. May I start to eat, please?
Sure, eat. It's better than thinking about this stupid case. Look, brotherhoods like this one have to have official authorization. They don't fool around.
And if we go and cause trouble, someone from the church with a nice purple robe is sure to kick up a fuss. Know what I mean?
Well, what do you got against men of the cloth?
Nothing. They're real sweethearts until you step on the red shoes.
Well, a prince is killed, and his son and heir gets everything. A pile of insurance money. And he makes a very generous donation to an organization of, shall we say, hoods.
You've got a weird sense of humor.
And even stranger is that Merck's Bible was given to him by the same brotherhood.
I hear you. But in order to be certain that a connection exists, we have to find out if Merck's widow has made a donation to our furry friends.
I don't know what to say. I know absolutely nothing about these wishes of my late husband.
Is it or is it not your husband's handwriting?
Yes, it is.
This document is legally notarized. In the event of your husband's death, it calls for 25% of the insurance claim to be donated to the Brotherhood of Comforting Fathers.
That's an outrage. It's almost 100,000.
Do you wish to contradict the last will of your dearly departed? Take my advice, lady. Do what I'm telling you, or something awful might happen to a member of your family.
Boom, boom! All right, then. Tell me how to make this donation so my poor husband can rest in peace.
Don't worry, we'll get in touch with you. But remember not to say nothing about this to anyone. Anyone, got it?
British Airways flight CA183 to New York. Passengers are advised that dinner will be served in the market.
Look, your grandmother.
45 hours. On production of boarding cards and with the compliments of British Airways.
This is Mr. Arthur Cross, recently arrived from London. Please contact the information desk. Mr. Arthur Cross, please.
Finally. Oh, Mother. I feel a lot better now that I'm here.
Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right.
No, Mr. Clementi. I'm not in Munich. I'm in Rome. At my mother's house. I was afraid for my children. Yesterday, I was approached by this man. He threatened me. He told me that when I finally receive the money from the insurance claim, that I'm supposed to donate 100,000 of it to a religious brotherhood.
Did your husband leave any written instructions?
Yes, a handwritten letter that was notarized and left in a drawer. Mr. Clementi, I'm afraid. What should I do?
Stay put in Rome. Don't talk to anyone. Leave the rest to me. All right? So long.
What do you think, Professor?
I don't know. I just hope I put her at ease. That's more than I can do for myself. I don't have anything solid that we can work on. And Mrs. Merck is worried about her children. She'll never testify.
Well, those jerks keep knocking off our clients.
Who is it?
I requested an audience with your order, Father. I have an appointment.
Walk this way. The Grand Master will be here soon.
Greetings, brother. I am the Grand Master of our fraternity. On the telephone, you said your life was going nowhere. Tell us about yourself, and let us know more about your situation.
I'm desperate. I need your help. There's nothing left from me now. My days are numbered. I'm a very sick person.
I'm sorry. Here, dear brother, you will find the peace, comfort, and pity you are seeking.
What I want is to die.
Does that mean that you wish to take your own life?
Yes, but I don't have the courage to do it.
Describe your situation to us.
I only have one relative, a nephew. He's still young, but he's handicapped. I've always supported him. But if anything should happen to me, he would be lost. So I took out a life insurance policy naming him as beneficiary. This way, if anything does happen to me, he'll be able to continue in life on his own.
If I understand correctly, you would like help in arranging a fatal accident.
Exactly.
You have come to the right place. Here you will find eternal comfort. As it is your desire, we will help you to cross death's mysterious threshold.
How can I ever repay you for this?
Sign a letter that will be registered with a notary. Write your name, here, and the name of your unfortunate nephew and his address.
How much is your policy for?
$1 million.
Then write down that your nephew is to donate to our brotherhood 300,000.
Some eyes are trying to tell me I'll never see another day. It's gonna be my darkest sunrise close, tomorrow's lit away. Whenever I feel down and out, there's a light above the skyline. Here comes my starshine rainbow.
You look better with that crap on your face.
Hello. It's you. Can't find the nephew. Find him no matter what.
Dr. Roth, your boys may be thorough, but there's one little thing that they didn't take into consideration. The old man wasn't old, and the nephew doesn't exist. But the records of Merck's analysis sessions do exist.
I have no idea what you're talking about. What are you doing in my office?
Well, I'm not here for analysis. I've come here to arrest a leader of an organization which has been ripping off my insurance company. I found this thing hidden in your desk drawer, together with a very interesting little diary. In the diary, there's a lot of information, stuff that should keep you behind bars for many moons.
Clemente, you're groping in the dark. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. It was my assistant who clued me in that you're the clown under the red hood. He discovered that even Prince von Kaltenberg, like Merck, was a patient of yours. Strange coincidence, don't you think? If indeed it was a coincidence. It must be easy to convince the unstable and depressed to join your religious brotherhood. A little bit later, you arrange their deaths. In return, there's a real nice payoff. In this diary is written how much you paid that punk working at the health spa to get rid of Merck. How much you gave the operator of the crane on Merck's construction site. And finally, how much went to the driver of the gray truck that smashed into Meyer's car?
You're wasting your breath, Clemente. You can't prove a thing.
That's not my problem. The judge has all the proof.
My orderlies are specialized in handling dangerous and deranged patients.
Hit the brakes or I'll plant a bullet in your brain.
Rouse, Jack speaking. You better reserve a room in the city jail. Yeah, for a certain gentleman who's going to check in there for quite a while. Yeah, he's an upstanding citizen. I'll give you full credit for breaking this case. And you'll continue your career as chief of police or even mayor. No, no, I'm not kidding. What do I want in return? Well, how about a nice big bowl of your wife's pasta? Only this time, tell her, I'd like it if it were just a little less fattening. Right. Bye-bye.
I just knew it. I was waiting for you. At last. Oh, I was beginning to miss you so much.
Look here, I brought you a little something from Germany.
For me?
Yeah?
Something for me.
Just a trinket.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm confused. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. Oh, this is the most wonderful day of my life.
Good Lord.
Some eyes are trying to tell me I'll never see another day. It's gonna be my darkest sunrise close, tomorrow's lit away. Whenever I feel down and out, there's a light above the skyline. Here comes my starshine rainbow, starshine rainbow, it's sparkling gold, starshine rainbow. All my troubles disappear like bubbles, opening my mind. The starshine rainbow, shining daylight, starshine rainbow. Let it grow, reaching out for me, reaching out for you. It's so good to know. It's starshine rainbow time. Some days are full of nightmares and secret shadows haunting you. A waste of time till you discover these are just a point of view. Don't go on feeling kind of blue. Let me show you there's a lifeline. Here comes my starshine rainbow, starshine rainbow, it's sparkling gold, starshine rainbow. And all my troubles disappear like bubbles, opening my mind. Starshine rainbow, starshine rainbow, shining daylight, starshine rainbow. Let it grow, reaching out for me, reaching out for you. It's so good to know. It's starshine rainbow time. It's starshine rainbow time. Here comes my starshine rainbow, starshine rainbow, sparkling gold, starshine rainbow.